Hi, Peter here. In this tutorial, I'll be demonstrating how you can use the enterprise version of Compliance Master to manage all your organization's compliance requirements from the convenience of one easy-to-use software solution. As you're most likely aware, in today's highly regulated business environment, more and more organisations are having to comply with a growing number of government regulations, industry standards and customer requirements just to do business. Organisations that fail to adequately manage their compliance risks not only expose themselves to penalties and lost revenue opportunities, in more severe cases, it can also lead to irrecoverable reputation damage and a complete cessation of business. One way organisations can mitigate their compliance risks is to carry out regular self-assessments on their systems, processes, and external suppliers. They also need to identify and record evidence supporting their compliance performance and document what actions they are taking to address areas of non-compliance, including timeframes. It is also important that organisations can quickly produce this information if requested by internal and external stakeholders, including regulators, accreditation and certification bodies. Unfortunately, conducting regular compliance assessments on multiple facilities, branches and suppliers across multiple compliance requirements can be a hugely time-consuming and expensive exercise. This is where Compliance Master's integrated approach to compliance management and continuous improvement can be of benefit. So without any further delay, let's have a look at how the software works. Having logged into the software for the first time, the first thing I suggest you do is go to the Organisation module, select the Edit button and enter your organisation's name and contact details. Next, go to the Entity module and enter the name and contact details of the organisations, groups, branches or suppliers that will be assessed using the software, including your own organisation if applicable. Next, go to the Checklist module to see which checklist templates have been registered against your organisation's account. If you've signed up for a software subscription that comes with a free pre-configured checklist template, you'll find it here. Otherwise, you'll need to create your own checklist templates for the various standards, regulations and processes against which you'll be assessing the compliance of your registered entities. To add a new checklist template to your account, just click on the Add Checklist tab. I'm not going to go into this process in detail because we already have a video that does just this on our YouTube channel. I've included the link below, but what I would like to quickly demonstrate is how you can use the software to align your checklist template with any type of standard, regulation or process. Let's take the checklist template that's already attached to this account as an example. As you can see, each template is separated into 3 tiers. The first tier represents the major headings or sections you'll find in most standards, regulations and processes. The second tier represents the individual compliance requirements that sit under each main section heading. The next tier, Tier 3, includes the criteria that is used to assess whether a compliance requirement has been achieved or not. In some cases, this criteria can be copied straight from the standard, regulation or process. In other cases, you may have to develop your own. One of the key features of the software is that all your assessment criteria is stored in one central location, the Criteria module. This enables you to share the same criteria across multiple checklists and to make any changes in just one location. Once you've saved your checklist template on the system, you're ready to start carrying out compliance assessments. To initiate a compliance assessment, simply go to the Assessments module, where you'll see a list of all the assessments currently registered on your account and their details. To add a new assessment, click on the Add Assessment button in the top right-hand corner of the page. Select the applicable checklist template from the drop-down list and the name of the entity you want to assess. If you don't want to undertake a compliance assessment from scratch, you can copy and edit a previously completed checklist or one that is in progress by selecting the Clone button. Once you've saved your assessment onto the system, it's then just a matter of working through the checklist and recording your compliance assessment results as you go. As you can see, to view or hide the compliance requirements associated with a particular section of your checklist, you simply click on its adjacent plus or minus symbol. This feature can be particularly handy when dealing with long checklists like this one. Compliance Master takes a very simple approach when it comes to recording compliance assessment results. Select a yes response if there is evidence supporting compliance with a particular assessment criteria, otherwise a no response is appropriate. If a specified compliance criteria doesn't apply to the entity being assessed, then there's a not applicable option. Depending on how you've structured your checklist template, you also have the option of entering supporting compliance and improvement notes alongside each criteria. Finally, but most importantly, you can also attach or add hyperlinks to the compliance evidence used to undertake each assessment. As you can see, each checklist displays the total number of compliance requirements assessed to date for each primary section and how many remain. It also displays the percentage of requirements assessed as compliant and a breakdown of compliance assessment results to date. There is also room to add and update assessor comments and improvement recommendations at the primary level, which is particularly useful when reporting assessment results to management and the board. Once an assessment has been completed, you can either close it and create another, as and when needed, or you can simply save and keep on updating the same checklist over time, using it more as a compliance and improvement register than a one-off report. You can also add a reassessment date. When it comes time to demonstrating an entity's compliance against a specific standard or regulation, simply go to the Assessments module, select the relevant entity and click on the appropriate assessment checklist. It's then just a matter of scrolling down the page until you find the section or requirement you're after, or you can simply use the handy navigation bar, which will take you where you want to go. Once you are there, you should find all the information you need to demonstrate an entity's compliance against that particular requirement and, if it's assessed as non-compliant, what your organisation is planning to do to address the problem. When it comes time to communicating assessment results to internal and external parties, you have several options. Firstly, you can print off a hard copy of a summary or a detailed assessment report by clicking on the respective print buttons. You also have the option of emailing a report to a third party directly from the software, including notes, or downloading an electronic copy by clicking on the Export button. To invite other users onto your account, simply go to the Settings module and click on the Add User button. Next, enter the person's name and contact details, including their email address, and give them a username and password. Finally, assign them a role, administrator or staff. Administrators have full access to the software's features, whereas staff can only view and enter assessment results. Once you select Save, the system will automatically email the new user their login details. This covers most of the key steps involved in using Compliance Master Enterprise to manage all your organisation's compliance requirements. If you have any questions or queries, be sure to add them below or drop us an email at info@compliance-master.com and we'll respond as soon as possible. If you'd like to receive more information on current and future Compliance Master videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button below.